Hello, and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. Today's podcast number 1733. The topic is nutrition, and the title is One Tip Per Goal. I was working with one of my business clients. It's a personal trainer, and in a discussion, they kind of threw something fun out there to me at the end of one of our weekly Zooms. They said, if you could give only one tip per goal, what would it be? And the goals that we were discussing were strength, muscle size, and fat loss. And this correlated with, we were creating templates that the trainer can use to train any of those clients. So it was kind of a fun pairing with that. And we were talking about specifically nutrition, but what's interesting is the first goal, strength, my tip was to get more sleep. So if I could give only one tip to people who were focusing on strength, is to get more sleep. Whether that's taking a nap, if you have time on the weekends. I remember when I was overwhelmed working at the gym in the early years, I was training from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., so that was 6 hours in a row. I would eat from 1 to 2, and then I'd train from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., another 6 hours, and then I had to write everyone's program, clean the gym, do the financial work, train myself. Oh, it was exhausting, but I was doing that Monday through Friday. I would train 5 hours on Saturday morning, and then I would sleep all weekend. I mean, I would go home, eat food, probably sleep on my couch by 3 p.m., sleep until, I'm going to sound like I'm exaggerating this, but it was not uncommon for me to fall asleep at 3 p.m. on Saturday and wake up at about 3 p.m. on Sunday, eat some food, go back to bed by 6 p.m. on Sunday, and wake up 6 a.m. on Monday to do it all over again. So I slept 24 hours from Saturday into Sunday, and then another 12 hours from Sunday into Monday. So I would sleep 36 hours over a weekend, and it was insane, but I survived. But that is a big thing that I tell for strength athletes and people working to rehab injuries. A lot of my corrective therapy kind of rehab clients is to get extra sleep. The reason why is the progress for strength and often for rehab and recovery is nervous system adaptations. So when you want to get stronger, not only do you want muscles to be bigger, but sometimes that's not the goal because you might have an athlete who's at the top of a weight class. We just want to develop neurological strength, not muscle size, leading to strength. But the adaptation for strength is a nervous system adaptation. When you sleep, you're reducing a lot of the stress that you would have by being awake, and you're actually giving your body time, space, energy to make the nervous system adaptations. So sleep is my one tip that I would give for strength focused people. not always athletes, but that's why I kind of hesitate to say athletes. But anybody wanting to increase strength is get extra sleep. For people wanting muscle size, my one tip was intra-workout. Use an intra-workout drink. Eat something, drink something while you're working out. The number one reason for that tip is most people struggle to be properly fed while balancing the chaos of the day. So when you get to your workout, you're probably going to be underfed, or you're going to be underfed after the workout, which is the recovery phase when you're actually making all the adaptations you would want from the training. If somebody trains and they get too busy and they forget to eat. So you're either not eating beforehand or you're not eating afterwards. So consuming calories while you train is extremely helpful. I mean, beyond words helpful. That is the most helpful time of the day to be consuming nutrition if your goal is muscle size. What we want protein. You do want a whey protein, not casein protein. That's too slow digesting. You can do a blend, a whey and casein blend, but you definitely want to have some whey protein in there. Whey isolate is really good. Now you can mix that with casein, or you can have the casein afterwards, but a whey isolate gets into the bloodstream very quickly, and it can start to do its thing right while you're damaging the muscle in the workout. We usually want to pair that with something for energy. And again, that's because if you're under eating before or under eating afterwards, having the energy available within the workout helps ensure you have a great workout. Yes, you can lean heavily on caffeine, but depending on the time of the day, depending on your caffeine tolerance and how long you've been abusing it, it might not give you the kick that you want. So getting some sugars, some glucose, some carbs for energy is a very good idea. So I tend to blend protein powder and Gatorade powder. That's my favorite pairing for cheapness and effectiveness. When I was doing my master's in nutrition, the main focus I had for my thesis was the post-workout energy consumption. That anabolic window is the phrase. So I looked at intra-workout. I looked at immediately post-workout. I did this. This is like freaking, I know more than I need to about that. But this is absolutely one of the biggest hindrances to people wanting to gain size is they undereat around the workout time. And then that usually leads to overeating away from the workout time, which leads to more body fat than what they'd really want. So an intra-workout drink is my one tip for people wanting muscle size. The goal of fat loss is to front load the day. Too often, people undereat during the day and they overeat at night. Now, they've done studies and they've shown that it doesn't necessarily impact weight change when you eat. So you can change your weight whether you eat in the front of the day, the middle of the day, the end of the day, all day, whatever. That doesn't necessarily change the impact of like weight change. But it does change how you feel during the process. And it can change how well you adhere to the program. By front loading the day, by eating more at the beginning of the day and then tapering off throughout the end of the day, that lowers cravings by the end of the day, which is extremely important for adherence and for just mental health. And you have better energy throughout the day, which leads to less fatigue by the end of the day, which leads to less poor decisions at the end of the day. So by the end of the day, you're going to have better energy throughout the day. You're not going to feel as worn out. You're going to be more likely to cook, prepare, and eat the foods you should be eating rather than feel too tired to give a shit and then eat a bunch of junk food. So front loading the day would be my tip for fat loss. So those are my tips I gave to the business client. For strength is to sleep. For muscle size is an intra-workout drink. For fat loss is to front load the day. Cool. Now, if you're looking for some nutrition help, we do have on our website, if you go to Free Nutrition Education on our website, the first document there you can click, you can view, you can print, is to how to create your own nutrition program. So if you're looking for some nutritional support, you can find that for free on our website. Awesome. Well, if you have any questions, if you need anything, let me know. My email is brutalirongym@gmail.com. If you like the podcast, please share the podcast. If you like the podcast, please consider donating to support the podcast, which you can do on our website. And if you like the information we share in the podcast, you can find more from us on our social media channels. On Instagram and YouTube, you can find us and follow us under the name Brutal Iron Gym. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.